God is on the move in the Twin Cities in this next generation. Last week, we had our first digital impact tour for the Twin Cities of Collision. And let me tell you, it was a blast. My name is Jacob. I'm our Metro Executive Director here, and I want to pass it over so you can hear a little bit from our team. I want to pass it over to our Field Director, Derek Barnwald, to share some numbers, some highlights on what God is doing.
Hey, I'm Derek, the Twin Cities Field Director. When we celebrated with our Impact Tour this past week, we got to highlight some of the things that God has been doing in and through the Twin Cities because of local church partnerships. We have over 34 churches that are partnering with us locally, launching students into local schools and communities, over 20 disciple-making groups happening in public school spaces. And we also got to talk about how we gathered in September for a local Mission Forward gathering with local youth pastors who got to share, celebrate, and encourage each other to continue to activate their students to be living on mission in their schools. I'm going to hand it off to Pastor Nate to share more.
If we haven't met before, my name is Nate Hayden. I'm a Next Gen pastor here in the Minneapolis metro area. And what I'm seeing with our Collision team is that we're spending our team accountability time talking about who are the people that we can reach for Christ and how can we do it. One of the ways that our team has been so successful is through DMGs, disciple-making groups. These are simple, replicable Bible studies that every student can learn how to do and then can execute inside their school right at the lunch table. And one thing that I think is so exciting is at the beginning of our time together each week, we write up on the whiteboard, who are the people that we can share the gospel with this week and how can we do it? When can we start our Bible studies? This is all so exciting, and it's one of the key features that makes Collision such a great partner organization. They want to give you the tools, but they also want to give you the energy and the intentionality to reach your friends for Christ.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tyler. I am a local pastor in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area that partners with Collision. And one of the things I love about partnering with Collision is it helps us keep our focus and being on mission. One of the things that we do in our youth group every single week is we pause and we say, hey, let's talk about, are we living out the mission of what God has called us to? Where in our life this week have we prayed with somebody in need? Where have we cared for somebody in Jesus' name? Where have we shared the gospel? Where have we lived out our faith? And we pause and we allow students to share stories because what gets celebrated gets repeated. And so as students share stories, they have the opportunity to practice their faith, to put it into faith, and to live that out every single day. And we had a story recently from a senior named Bailey, and Bailey is walking through some really difficult moments in her life and in her family's life. And she was sitting out on a dock in Minnesota, and she was reading her Bible, and her cousin came by and said, hey, what are you doing? And she began to have a gospel conversation with her cousin, was able to share the gospel with her cousin, and her cousin received Jesus. And we've got to celebrate that as a group. And because the reality is we're in this together. Christianity is a team sport that we can celebrate, we can encourage, we can challenge, we can push each other forward, and we can live out and be on mission. We can mobilize together, and we can be unified under the gospel. And so we love partnering with Collision and keeping the main thing, keeping our focus on Jesus and the expansion of his kingdom.